What is going on, Light Warriors? The Galactic Guardian is reporting for duty, and I got a message for you today, right now. The question coming to mind is, if God is real, then how could and why could God allow bad things to happen? And we're going to talk about this a little bit today. In this video, you see, understand this, that God is the source of all creation. And included in that creation, there is cause and effect. There is karma. There is a yin. There is a yang. There is a good. There is a bad. There's a light and a dark. These, the law of polar opposites, exists. So with that being said, there are cycles upon this earth where positive ETs are controlling the systems, and then there are cycles where the negative ETs, or in other words, evolved ETs and less evolved ETs, have their turn in governing the planet. And of course, the negative ETs have been controlling this planet over this last 2100 year cycle, right? Since the birth of Jesus, literally since that period of time. And now in this new age coming into the golden age, right? The age of Aquarius coming soon in the next few decades. Age of Aquarius coming soon. We're ending out the age of Pisces, and a lot of the negativity right now in the world is being exposed. A lot of the fear must be raised. A lot of our awareness must be raised to the fear, so that then we can release it. See, whatever we avoid will be suppressed in our body, which will lead to depression. Okay, you see, so we must release what it is we are afraid of, and we do that by facing our fears. We do that by facing our fears. Okay, facing our fears. So how could God allow something to happen? Well, it's because the thing is, we live on a planet called Earth where we have free will. Okay, and that's part of the human experiment. We have free will to choose what we're going to do. We are unique perspectives of God. Now, see, our highest self, our higher self outside of time and space, is pure love and light, just as God is. But when you step us into the third dimension, this is where you can actually make mistakes and try things out. Free will, like, let me do this, let me do that. And then you can create karma, and then you reincarnate. You got to go, experience the opposite of the karma you gave out, whether in this lifetime or in another lifetime. So how could God allow bad things to happen? Well, it's first of all understanding that everything's neutral, and only your unique perspective or mine can label something as good or bad anyway. And everything just is, simply is, right? There's divine and there's less than divine at the end of the day. And the reason why God allows that is because we are in that dimension, okay? When we shift into the next dimension version of the earth, there is no longer fear. There is no longer hate. There is no longer judgment. That's all been released. That's left on the old earth. The new earth, right? The new earth, the 5D earth, the 4D earth, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the 5D because that's where we're going. 4D is like the bridge. It's like the rainbow bridge or something like that, right? That's what Phil said. I think I like that. It makes sense. Where it's like the third dimension is where you're in your lack-based thinking. You're in fear-based. That's where you're in limited thinking. You thinking you're a physical being, and you're limited based around your circumstances. You're at effect to your life. You're a victim to what's happened to you. That's the third dimension. Okay, the fourth dimension is where you begin getting spiritual lessons. You're going through things. You're going through different trials and tribulations and pain and learning lessons. You kind of in this in-between stage between the third dimension and the fifth dimension, and you're learning, like, how you're experiencing some of the fifth dimension, but then you go back to the third dimension. You're kind of like in that place where you're like learning. You're in that learning ground, and then once you evolve and ascend past that, now you're in the fifth dimension. Now you're in the eternal present moment. You in connection with your higher self. You're in connection with God, source energy, incarnate all the time. Right, that's what the fifth dimension is like, where there is no more limitation. There is no lack, there's no fear, there's no doubt, there is no second guessing. It's all immediate and instant higher self in physical form. That's what the fifth dimension is. That's what we are all in the process of evolving to. Okay? That's what we're all in the process of evolving to. Now, I've experienced glimpses of this realm, and I've been in this realm many times, and I'm going through my certain things in my life right now, shadow work, and releasing my fear, and experiencing the opposite end of the karma I created earlier in my life, right? And so are you probably, right? And that's just part of the game of life. It's a game. It's not so serious. It doesn't have to be like this so serious thing where, what if I mess up? Or what are people going to think? Well, what's going to happen to me if this happens, right? It it just really doesn't matter. The key is to just enjoy life. The key is to just lose yourself in the present moment and allow yourself to be without expectation. You don't have to live up to anyone's expectations, even your own. Be present and just enjoy it. Just realize this, that we all have a dharma. We all have something that we are uniquely talented at. We all have something that we love to express. That's our soul expression, our soul signature, right? It's naturally expressed through our unique perspective of God in our unique physical incarnations. Whatever that may be for you, maybe you're naturally a teacher. Maybe you're naturally a worker, architect, constructor, carpenter. You like to build things, right? Maybe you're someone that's more to the physical side of things, right? You're working out. You may be a personal trainer. Maybe you're someone that's more into the spiritual side of things. Maybe you're into the multidimensionality and expanding consciousness. Or maybe you're someone that's into the health side of things. You love cooking. You love sharing recipes and giving people ideas on what they can eat and how they can improve their health and nutrition, right? No matter what it is, I mean, you have your unique expression. Okay, and as you may have found out by now, one of my unique expressions is being a teacher. Okay, I'm a teacher. That's one of my soul expressions. And you see, whatever it is your soul expression is, it's going to be the most natural for you to manifest that versus other things. And a lot of times we look at other people and we want to copy others, and we want to manifest what we know about based around other people in our physical life. But a lot of times, the path that God's got you on, the highest path for you, you're not going to see it in your physical. You're only going to find it within yourself. Okay, and regardless of what the people around you are going to tell you, you got to be willing to say no. You got to be willing to use discernment. You got to be willing to follow your intuition. You got to be willing to trust yourself regardless of what other people are telling you. Right? And it can be difficult to do. You're looking around you, someone's telling you this, someone's telling you this. You see, pay attention to who you're getting advice from. Pay attention to who you're getting advice from. See, if you wouldn't trade places with them, don't take their opinion. At the end of the day, use discernment. Why would God allow good and bad things to happen? It's because the law of polar opposites, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. We have free will, okay? We have free will. We can, just because you know about God and you know your higher self, don't mean you can't make a free will choice to do something that you shouldn't do, probably, and then create some karma. You can still do that. Like, you have the ability to do that if you'd like to. Okay, and there's nothing God can do to stop you from doing that. Well, I mean, probably if you really wanted to, he could stop you from doing that. Well, get away from the he, she, because it's not like God is a person. God is not a human. But God, or the creator, or source, or the universe, the source of all creation, I prefer to call it God. That's a vocabulary word I used growing up, so it makes the most sense to me. The one infinite creator. We are all unique perspectives of that one infinite creator. So it's like if the entire universe is this dot, and we are tiny dots around that dot, basically experiencing our different perspectives of the one, which is God, the creation. And we get our ideas from God, which is that creation or the ether. And we receive that information through the filters and reference experiences of our own mind. Okay, so this is why your experience is completely unique to you. Okay? Because your past is uniquely yours, and therefore that's created a unique experience. Therefore, you will have a unique perspective, which you will be framing your reality upon. So that is why God allowed bad things to happen, because number one is free will, number two is karma, and number three, there are not only positive ETs, but also negative ETs. They're not only evolved beings, but there are less than evolved beings. Especially when you're experiencing the plane of like the third dimension, you're going to experience a lot more darker energies, which is more dense energies, which is not bad necessarily. It's just less evolved, less divine. It's not bad. They're still from God, just as you are. They're just less evolved. The darker entities that may be attached to you or to around this that control this planet, either way, they're still part of God. Therefore, it's not that they're bad or evil necessarily. They're just less evolved, right? They're just less evolved. Whether it be for the control of others, whether it be for the oppression of, the human race, whether it be for, slavery, whether it be for trafficking, whether it be for, greed and control. I mean, whatever the case may be, these are just lower physical attachments that beings can become attached to and keep them into that lower realm in vibration and the frequencies, okay? Okay? So what you can do right now is to not worry about the problems that are happening in the world, but focus on yourself. Take care of yourself. You don't got to solve all of the world's problems. You got to solve your own problems. and focus on yourself and realize that the problems don't really exist other than in your own mind anyway. So the presence is the key. When you become present, you are free of your mind. You are free of overthinking. You are free of anxiety. You are free of depression, because all anxiety and depression is an attachment to an emotion based around your past experience. That's all it is. When you become present in this moment, you let go of that identity. You let go of that idea of that I am an anxious person. I am a depressed person because this thing happened to me in my past. You are not your past. Your past was an experience. You are the presence experiencing this moment, vibrating the energy of your choice. You always have a choice to make. Regardless of what's happened to you in this now moment, you always have the ability to choose a new decision for your future. You have the ability to choose, how am I going to think, feel, and act today? What am I going to do that's going to help mold my future into physical reality? Am I living today by a vision of the future or a memory of the past? Am I living from love or from fear? Well, it's your choice. You have ability to choose. Intentions over expectations, respond over react, creation over competition. Allow yourself to be without expectation. Allow yourself to be without expectation. It's not about being perfect. It's about being yourself. It's not about being perfect, ladies and gentlemen, but it's about being yourself. Okay? It's not about being perfect, but it's about being yourself. That's the message for today. Go ahead and check the links out in the bio. I got the new book on Amazon, Meditation Secrets. Click the link. Get the new book. Learn how to release anxiety, release overthinking, doing your shadow work, and receiving divine guidance in the new book, Meditation Secrets. Send me a message on Instagram, Teachings of Alicus, if you have any questions. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.